We're going. I'm live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of Tech It Over. You can see I am missing my other half today. My bestie and love of my life, Karina, aka Cue the Librarian, is out today because she is having a sick baby night. So everybody send your positive vibes, send all your love and your prayers to baby Olived. Let him know he's loved and just lift him up in his little baby prayer. Anyway, so besides that, my amazing co-host is not here tonight, we have a sub for y'all tonight. And let me bring that amazing person in. Yay! This is my co-host. Sorry, wrong way. This is my co-host for tonight, Allie the Librarian. Many of you may know her from her podcast, Allie the Librarian Book Talks. She is an amazing RGV librarian. We were baby librarians together, and I am just ecstatic to have you on the show co-hosting with me tonight.
Stephanie, it is my absolute pleasure to come in and be able to sub for Karina. I know that I will not be able to fill in those shoes, but I am super excited for this show in particular because this guest is amazing and I cannot wait to get started. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Oh, I see Q is watching. We love you, boo.
So, we do.
Allie is not wrong, y'all. We are going to have an amazing show tonight because we have an amazing guest. She is a talk star librarian. She is the most recent Texas Association of School Librarians Media Virtual Presence Award honoree because our award winner is to my, I don't know what direction this is because we're looking weird. Anyway, our guest tonight is none other than Amanda Hunt, aka the Next Gen Librarian, and you're going to get to meet her in just a few seconds. So let's roll that intro. Hello!
Hi, everybody!
You're here.
I'm so excited to be here. I'm a fangirl of the show, y'all, and now I'm a guest.
Oh, you are. You did it. You came up out of the fangirls, and you're here.
Yes.
Oh, I am fangirling over you, Amanda, Miss Talk Star. She's the TikTok queen.
Right?
Goodness.
Just
whoa.
Round hand over. I don't have a crown, but I've got a golden unicorn. So here you go.
I love unicorns. I'll take it.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Well, as we start every Wednesday, it is, besides Wine Wednesday, it's What Are You Reading Wednesday. So tell our viewers, since both of y'all are brand new, tell our viewers a smidge about you and what are you reading? We'll start with Allie.
Starting with me, all right. So I've got Some Other Now by Sarah Everett. And this particular book, this is her debut novel, and she has knocked it out of the park. So we follow our main character, Jessie, who's this 19-year-old. She's graduated out of high school. She doesn't have a great home life, so she has sort of like a family that she hangs out with since she was younger. And there are two boys in that family, and there seems to be a little bit of a love triangle.
Ooh.
And yes, and it suddenly turned very weird for her, but very exciting. And there's love, and there's family issues. It talks on so many themes, like there's mental illness, there's, just the dynamics between the family alone, her adopted family, so to speak, is amazing. And there's so many lessons to be learned here. And it's just a whole journey of self-discovery. And I loved it. I loved it.
That sounds amazing. And who are you, ma'am? Who are you?
Moi? Oh,
Yeah.
I have to talk for myself. Okay, so So I'm Allie. You can find me on Twitter, Allie the Librarian. I host a book talk show, which has been on a hiatus for a smidge because this pandemic is so overwhelming. But I plan to start it up again, and especially with this book because I am loving it. I am a librarian in South Texas at Harlingen CISD, and I am a YA librarian, and YA just happens to be the best genre in the whole wide world. And yeah, I'm just a really big book enthusiast. I love ed tech platforms, which I'm looking forward to talking about tonight. And I'm a big fan of Amanda's, and I plan to do a duet with her. And just, full disclosure, this background was supposed to be all virtualed out. It was supposed to be a beautiful cityscape. I had so many hopes and dreams for it, but apparently it's not lit well. So there will be no green screen tonight.
The struggle.
Yes, we just have that. I was thinking of hanging this greeting card I have because
there you go.
It goes with the motif.
I love it. I love it. All right, Amanda, tell us what you're reading tonight.
First of all, Allie doesn't need a background. All right, she is the photo all by herself. My name is Amanda Hunt. I'm a middle school librarian in South Central Texas, and so I really could talk about this book probably for the whole hour of the show. But last week, and I gave it 5 stars, of course. Last week I read Once Upon a
Wait a minute. Pause.
Yes.
Are you an Allie who is a star whore who gives 5 stars to everything, or are you like me who is very
star?
I'm a star whore. I'm sorry, and I'll give it out. But I read people recommend books that are amazing to me, so that's like all I read are amazing books. So
that's fine.
So right. But I promise you, okay. You know what? I'll make a bet with you. If you read this book and you do not think it is 5 stars, I will do an embarrassing TikTok. How about that?
Y'all, everybody heard this. We're live on YouTube. It's going to be in a podcast. Y'all heard it. So, all right.
I promise. You pick it. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. So this book is called Once Upon a Quinceañera by Monica Gomez Hira. And it is a new release. Like, she is a new author. And I have such amazing memories of going to quinceañeras. If you live in Texas, that's kind of part of your high school experience, especially if like you had best Latina friends like I did. I am not part of the Latinx community, although I really wish I were, because I just could dance a cumbia all night to Selena and call it the best night ever. Okay.
Then I think you're an honorary Mexican now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I wanted to say. You're adopted.
You're in.
Yes.
Welcome to the club.
Life goal made right there. So this story follows Carmen, who is a recent graduate, except she didn't quite get to graduate. She's missing 1 credit. And so she gets to do a summer internship, unpaid, as a Disney princess dress-up character for kids' birthday parties in Miami in the heat of summer, wearing those big old dresses.
Yeah.
And she gets to her first practice, and her ex-boyfriend is the beast to her beauty, and so it's just, there's that, and then the company hires her brat of a cousin who is having her quinceañera, and it was the reason why Carmen didn't get to have hers 3 years ago. And so it's just like a telenovela brought to life. And I loved every single second of it. So
I'm loving this already. So I went through my Kindle when you were talking about it, and I apparently pre-ordered this book. So I've already got it ready and loaded.
Yes,
I'm ready. So I was going to share that I am currently reading a book I'm not a huge fan of right now because it's I started reading Fat Chance Charlie Vega by Crystal Maldonado, and I had very high hopes for it. The Lib Squad, Ali, Vilia, and Karina, and myself decided this was going to be a squad read because we all chatted about it. I'm not loving it so far. I'm only 5 chapters in, so we'll see.
Okay. Because I gave that one 5 stars too.
Amanda, you are killing me.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna stick it out.
Okay.
But for sure, I'm gonna get on that Once Upon a Quinceañera, and we're gonna talk. Okay. I'm so excited though. Awesome. All right. Well, we got through our book talks, and I do want to share because my love Karina is not here. She is currently reading Jukebox by Nidhi Chanani. I hope I said that right, but
it's a graphic novel, right?
Is it?
I think she nominated it, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, yeah, I think it is because Nidhi also wrote Pashmina.
Oh, yes, she was telling us about it the other night. So for our viewers who don't know, I am the previous chair of the Texas Maverick Graphic Novel Reading List Committee, which is a mouthful, and I am so proud to say that I am now the past chair and chair advisor to my new chair, Amanda Hunt.
Yeah, our fearless leader.
And I'll never be able to fill her shoes, y'all. Like, I could never. I'm playing for second here.
And Allie is also a member of our amazing Texas Maverick Graphic Novel Reading List Committee. So much fun to say it so long.
It's such a great committee, man. I just love it. I love graphic novels. They're just the best. They have all the drama, all the plot, and less reading time. Like, can it
I know.
Yes. So good.
I just love them. I'm thinking once, for my friends who don't know out there, I'm going through a stint of unemployment. Wait for a blog post to come about it. But when I start getting money again, I have a tattoo planned where I'm going to get a cute little graphic novel right here.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Yeah, she has a super cute little kawaii graphic novel, so I'm going to get one right here. Just because I love them. They're amazing. And I also want Iron Man, like a whole body, but let's be real. That's expensive. Anyway. Okay, guys, let's get into, as Allie says, the meat and potatoes of our show. Meat and potatoes. And let's talk about Amanda. All right, my love. So you've already said you are a librarian in South Central Texas. You're the best kind of librarian, which is middle school. And, you are amazing in all things. You're doing a diversity audit in your library. You've got some amazing student library helpers. So besides being a librarian and a Talkstar librarian and chair of the Mav List, tell us about yourself and about your story. Like, how did you get here?
So I come from a family of educators. Both of my parents were teachers, and my mom actually was a GT teacher for a while, and then an assistant principal at a local elementary school in town. And it was the elementary school that was kind of considered on the bad part of town, right? And so it had a high number of low socioeconomic students, right? And so, but I grew up there. I found that it is my favorite school that I've ever worked at in my life, because I did have the opportunity to be a social worker while my mom was also working there as an assistant principal. So we got to work together for about 3 years until she retired and I moved on to the classroom. That was probably the most fulfilling job I've ever had, in addition to being a librarian, which is fulfilling, but it was different in a way that I got to see the impact I was making, like, immediately, right? When you help someone pay their utility bill, or you made sure that they had Christmas gifts, or you got them clothes for that night, or you found them a place to live when they didn't have a place. Like, those kinds of things were so important and so, like, fulfilling for me. And it was at a time in my life when I was in my mid-20s, not quite sure what I wanted to do. And so if I could have done that job forever, I would have. In our town, it's the nonprofit organization called Communities in Schools. And they were at all the elementary schools and the secondary campuses, but their funding ran out. And so then they just were at the secondary campuses. So I knew it was coming. So I went into the classroom and it found that it wasn't for me, which I think a lot of us could probably relate to. Teaching is hard. It is incredibly hard. I don't know how teachers are doing it this year, to be honest. Like, I mean,
really is.
the heroes, right?
True.
And I also was teaching at a school in a nearby town that was like 90% low socioeconomic campus, which I see the nods. I'm sure you guys have also had experience working in a school like that. It makes you appreciate if you do get to go to a different school, because you can definitely see, the struggles. But it also was an important part of my life. Like, I would never take that away for anything, because I feel like it made me a better educator, a better human, to be working at a school like that.
Absolutely.
So I got to come back to New Braunfels, which is where I live. And I was an elementary librarian for 5 years. And I just didn't know at the time. Like, I always thought elementary was where I was supposed to be, right? My mom was there. That was like where I was supposed to be. And I was real burnt out, y'all.
Elementary's hard.
It's so hard. But if you think that, like, I do a lot of stuff now, oh my God, I was like 10 times at the elementary level. That was just like kind of expected. And I just couldn't. So I was like looking for something else. And a middle school position opened at the school that my dad retired from. It's a school that I went to when I was in 6th grade. And so I was like, middle schoolers, y'all, I could never, like, they're like, that's the worst age. And so I was like, you know what? And so I thought, I'm just going to try it. Oh my gosh, best decision of my life. I love this age. Like, they are the best kids. Like, yes, like, they are still young enough to have that innocence, but yet they get my jokes. I'm real sarcastic. They get my humor. So I have just loved being at my campus where I'm at and the role that I'm at. And so I'm just so happy to be where I am now and have the opportunities that it's given me in my district. So
that's amazing. And I had a question that was, were you really a social worker? Because you mentioned it on TikTok once. And I wanted to know more about this. My mom was, or is, only like a year away from retiring, but she is a social worker in the same district as Allie, and she sees Allie like all the time.
I know. Yeah. I'm always telling her, I'm Stephanie's friend. She's, I know.
And my mom will call me and say, even now at 31, I have your friends saying Stephanie's mom. But yeah, social workers are my heart. But we get it. Yes. Allie and I are from the Valley. We know what those schools are like. We grew up in them. We worked in them. And I feel you, girl. I taught 2nd grade. I know what it's like. And then moved to teaching 6th grade math. And I was the opposite. I was one of those teachers that I was like, I'm never leaving the classroom. Like, I never, like, if you had told 22-year-old Stephanie, homegirl, one day you're not going to be in a classroom anymore, she would have been like, you're drunk. Because I loved it. And then I became a librarian, and I started in high schools and thought that was it. And then it's like you said, you get to middle school and you're like, this is it. It's the best. They're so funny and awkward, and they stink, and they're hilarious. Oh man, middle school.
I taught middle school, so I have some of that experience. I taught 6th, 7th, and 8th, and man, do they grow exponentially from each grade to the next. In 6th grade, they're still kids. Like, they still want to play. They still have that childish attitude. You're still like the leader of their lives, and they follow whatever you say. In 7th grade, they're desperate to be adults. I mean, this is where they discover curse words, and this is where they scream every 45 minutes when they see their friends in the hallway. Oh my gosh. And then 8th grade, this sudden maturity comes along, and I think they're just desperate to get out of middle school, that they're suddenly calm, they're focused, they just want to pass that STAR test so they can get to 9th grade. It's it's quite the roller coaster, but I love that age group. I really, really, really loved it. My dream was to be the librarian at the middle school that I taught at, but I got the opportunity in Harlingen. So, but I love middle school. And it's so amazing, Amanda, that you came from such like a family of educators and came from a great educational, little small, tight-knit community where you switched from one school to another that had strong ties to your parents. That is so great that you have roots in that school community. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's fantastic.
Absolutely. It's so funny. People are still like, oh, you're Mr. Hunt's daughter. Like or your mom was Miss Hunt. Oh my God, I loved her. Like, I mean, it's just, and everyone's like, well, why don't you ever leave? Like, why don't you ever get out? You know, it's like, why? Like, my family's here. A lot of my friends still live here. You're right. It's where I've put roots down. And so
you're leaving a legacy. An educational legacy from the Hunt family. And you even worked as a social worker. I mean, there cannot be any person that is more selfless, no bigger do-gooder, no bigger heart. I mean, that is just amazing. From social worker to teacher to librarian, Amanda. To TikToker, you do it all.
The top star.
Yeah, my claim to fame with the kids, for real. Like, that's what they know me as. Like, and in this year, it's so sad, but I don't know what my 6th graders look like. Like, I've never seen them. Like, I've never seen their faces. And so for them to be like, oh, I saw your TikToks this summer. As soon as they walked onto campus, I was like, oh, that's why I embarrass myself every day. Like,
Yes.
It's worth it.
You do so well, and I'm sure your kids absolutely love it. You're the cool part of school,
Right?
Yes, that's the
I was
best part.
just thinking, imagine being 13, awkward in middle school, where every day you think your life's falling apart, right? But then you see your librarian, who's supposed to be, this old lady with her hair in a bun and glasses, and being like, shit. And she's over here doing the dabbing and the moves and the things on TikTok. Yes, girl. Like, that would be so cool.
Oh gosh. So even though they call me cringe, I'm gonna go with cool. I'm gonna change that.
Call you cringe to your face?
Even though today they're like, we saw you on our For You page, and I'm like, okay, so which is it?
That means you made it, ma'am.
You are not cringe.
Yeah, in their eyes, I've made it.
You made it. So we've been talking about TikTok some, but tell us about, how did you get there? How did TikTok become a thing? How did you become the talk star that you are?
So I was really trying to avoid getting on TikTok. I love educational technology as much as the next person. Like, I will try any app you throw my way, right? And I was like, I can't justify this, guys. Like, they were trying to get me on it. I'm like, there's no educational in this at all. I can't do it. And so they made me a bet, which obviously I'm a bet person because I can't turn it down. And they were like, come on, like, for Christmas, your gift to us, like, that's what we'll do. We'll do a dance on TikTok. And I was like, okay. Because one thing you should know about me is I was on dance team in high school, and I do the Zumba. Like, I
love Zumba. I'm terrible at it, but I love it.
Yes, and I live in my best life when I'm dancing. And so I didn't mind about that. I didn't care about being on camera. I just thought, what am I going to do with this? And so over Christmas break last year, I did get on, and I was telling Stephanie, when I saw her in March of last year, that I was literally on that dang app for like 8 to 10 hours a day. And I hate to tell people to get on TikTok because it is an addiction that you will not be able to quit. Yes, it is a time suck. I'll look up and it's been 3 hours. Like, I have to tell myself, you can't get on tonight, Amanda. And the thing is like, I get on now to get ideas. Like, if I'm seeing a new trend or a dance, I'm like, how can I take it and make it library, right? Because that has to be my purpose. I'm going to call it professional development to like help me not to justify spending hours on it. And
Well,
so
it is. You're advocating.
exactly. So I can do that. So at the time, the Renegade was the big thing, right? And so that was the bet, is that they thought I couldn't learn it. And you don't challenge, like you don't challenge this hunt. I will come every time.
There, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, whenever I watch a TikTok, the cheer coach and cheerleader of my past lives is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. And so like I'm watching them and I'm like, I could do this.
Yes.
But I'm too lazy to get up and do it. That's the difference.
I think of it as my cardio for the day. I'm like, I can't go to Zumba right now, Rona. So this is what I'm
watching you is cardio.
So I came back from Christmas break last year knowing the Renegade. And so I did it like every day for like a month. I was like, we're going to do it every day. Y'all said I couldn't do it. We're doing it. And so then it just became a thing. It was constant. And so there were other librarians that were on it using it for library promotion and things like that. So we all kind of found each other and created the Talkstar Librarian group. And we just filmed a session on it for TLA. So if you're interested in learning on how to use TikTok, you can go to our session, How to be a Talkstar Librarian at TLA, in a few weeks.
I can't wait for that. That's amazing. And you know, Amanda, it reminds me, or it reminds me how librarians, we just go so far to please our students. You went and practiced every day to do the Renegade as you did it right now. I don't know how you did it, but yeah. I don't know. Whoa. But you dedicated that time because your students asked you to. And I'm pretty sure you don't like backing down from a bet, but I'm pretty sure most of the motivation behind that is that it was for your students.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's just amazing. I think that's an incredible motivation. It tells me you're in the right role for the right reasons, and your success on TikTok is because your heart's in it and you do it to bring joy to your students. And that's amazing to me.
Thank you. And I hate to say like everyone on TikTok, because it's not like a passion, for everyone. I happen to like to dance, and this kind of came out at the right time, and so it just fit together really well. But there are so many other librarians on that app not dancing and using it for like actual like book recommendations. There's now, instead of Bookstagram, it's called Book Talk, and so it's promoting our books that are in our library and all the programming that we do. So you can make it your own however you want, but that's what I feel like this profession does. You bring your strengths to the table and you create your program from what you like to do, because when you like it, it radiates out to the kids and they find joy in it too. So
exactly. And I think that's what's fun about your TikTok profile is that, one, you never know what you're going to get because you're doing everything. Like you're on point with your trends, with your dances, with your library promotion, with your book talks, with everything. And that's what I love so much about it is when you show up on my For You page and I'm like, what is she doing now? It's so cool. Like, I think that if that is not the true definition of a librarian, like being flexible, learning what's going on and going with it, then I don't know what is. So you're doing an amazing job.
Yeah, I don't follow Amanda because we're on Maverick together or she's my friend, she's my library bestie. No, I follow Amanda because she's badass at her TikToks. Like she is awesome. Yes, I'm a true fan. I'm a true blue fan.
Oh, thank you.
I was one of those people that I was like, I'm not getting on TikTok. I'm not doing it. And then we saw Jason Reynolds together. And as we were sitting there in that church, I was downloading TikTok and getting on it. And now I don't go a day without at least looking at Amanda, my Call Me Chris, and Ash Valmont, my 3 favorite TikTokers, every day. Like, if I don't at least see those 3, it's not been a good day. You gotta see them. And Ash Belmont, I know you're not watching this, but if you do, I would love a shout out or a hug or a t-shirt.
Yes.
Something. And if you don't know Ash Belmont, he is a serious Black cosplayer. And he also has started bringing in, he does like Harry Potter scenes. He does like Lucifer. He did Damon from, what's his name?
Vampire Diaries?
Yes.
Yes.
The man I named my car after. He's amazing. I love Ash Belmont. He's hilarious and he's adorable. He's got a Disney sleeve.
Oh,
He's
that's
so
so
Wow.
yeah, and he's a grown-ass man. Like, he's got a job. He's not just some rando. That's what I love about TikTok, is that they're real people like you.
Yeah.
That, you know, they're real people who have jobs. You're not like a paid content creator.
Right.
You're doing it. You're out there. You're doing it.
Mhm. Hey, but what's up with that guy who tells you you've been on TikTok too long? Like the one who says, "Hey, you've been scrolling for a while." I feel like telling him, like, mind your own business, and I keep on scrolling. Huh?
I don't know who that is, but I don't like him.
Oh my gosh, if you've been scrolling for way too long, which I've been known
Pops
to
up.
do, he pops up and he goes, "Hey, I know you're having a great time, but I think you've been scrolling for quite a while. Stop and go get a snack or turn off your phone." I'm just like, how dare you tell me what to do?
Don't tell me what to do. Rude.
Yeah, 13-year-olds aren't going to go for that, y'all.
No. My favorite is when you pop. I thought you were talking about Madam Adam. He's this guy in his like kimono, and he's like, "Hey, bitch, I don't know how you're feeling right now, but stop scrolling and let's breathe." And we breathe in, we breathe out, we unclench. I love him. I love it. I love TikTok, and it's because of you. So,
I'm so glad you got on, and that it doesn't time suck every second of your day.
You're an influencer.
Listen.
you are.
Oh, goodness. Y'all are too nice.
All right. So moving away from TikTok and all of our loves for it.
Yes.
As we said, being a librarian is the greatest job ever, right? And you are in the best position ever. What do you like best about being a middle school librarian?
Oh, goodness. Well, obviously, like the kids, like I've had people tell me, you know, you should move up to like, you know, the admin level or work at the district office and like stuff like that. Like, no, like I tell the people this all the time. Like, I don't like most adults. Okay. Like I like Stephanie and I have had that bond, you know, like I don't, and I'm not here for it because a lot of times adults bring trauma and, you know, clash personality, all this stuff. Whereas kids, you know, they are who they are, and I connect with it. Inside, I'm 13, which is probably also why TikTok and I connect so well, because I get them, and I remember what it was like to be in middle school and be a tween. And have the feelings and the emotions that they're having. I still consider myself young and enough to remember that. And so I just love the kids. I love talking to them. I love joking with them. You know, that they're my why every single day. And so, you know, if I've had a bad day, I just have to remember that, like, you know, the kids are why I'm here. And this year it's been really tough because I haven't gotten to connect with my students the way I usually do. I usually run like 4 different clubs throughout the year, and I haven't been able to. And I have morning library, and I haven't been able to. And so my big connection this year and my big motivation to keep going in the year of the pandemic is my library aides. And I love them so much. I always like to pick a wide range of student, you know, if they're watching me right now. I don't want to tell too much about them, but I just try to pick a mix of, you know, lots of different types of kids. You know, the kid that maybe doesn't feel seen or feel like they're welcome anywhere. They always know they're welcome in the library. All the way from like the jocks and the, you know, just all the different wide range of kids. And it's my favorite thing in the world when different personalities are put in the same class period, and like that would probably never have said one word to each other outside of the library, and they get along and they're friends, and I see them hanging out and having lunch together because of that connection of them working in the library together at the same time. So the kids are always my why, and they're my favorite part of the job. In addition to the books, like I like to read a little bit, so just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit, yeah.
So I love recommending books to students and finding, and then they love it and I love it and we fangirl out about it. So that's the best.
That's my favorite part. Oh my gosh. When I have those library ambassadors that I could just run to and be like, oh my God, did you read this? And we're just like, oh my God, yes, and fangirling with your library aides is just the best feeling in the whole wide world. And me and well, I guess you go through it too, when they leave your school. Why do you have to grow up?
I know.
With,
This year is my first year where my library aides are seniors. Like, these are my first seniors. They're about to leave. And every year I have what I call a staycation. And it's the last week of school where the library aides get to miss a whole day of school to be in the library with me. We order food, we watch movies, we karaoke, we dance, And I always invite previous library aides to come by because it happens to be a testing day where they get early release at the high school. So they all stop by and it's like one big, like, I've missed y'all so, and I didn't get to do it last year. And now they're seniors, my first group. And I emailed them all and just told them how like proud I am of them and how the amazing things they're going to do. And I'm going to cry, but I really do like to keep up with them as they go through life. So it's going to be a hard May when they.
Oh my gosh, Amanda. I don't know if you're going to be able to attend their graduation because of COVID or whatnot, but I hope you get to.
Me too.
I don't know. I hate this pandemic. I don't know why life's so cruel that we're separated from our library ambassadors. I mean, they are just the heart and soul of the library. And I don't know what I would do without them. Just
agreed.
Yeah. My library aides were amazing. And I know their favorite thing about me, besides the fact that I look like one of them, is that I act like one of them. Like, our viewers don't know this, but I am only 5 feet tall. And legally, I'm 4 feet, 11 inches, and 3/4 of an inch. So my license.
Are you a little person? Like, are you like legally? No. My friend told me that if you don't get to be 5 feet when you're 18, that you're like legally.
I don't think
is that not true?
I don't think that's true because I've been this height. My mom just found this card. You know those stupid little identification cards they have when you're little? I thought I've been this height since 6th grade, but my mom found this little card of me, no lie, in 4th grade. I have been this height since I was 9.
Oh my
gosh.
I don't think that's true.
Your mom's like the same height too, though.
My mom likes to rub it in that she's 5'1".
Patsy wins.
Yeah. But it's funny because my husband is 6 foot flat, and I'm like, can you not? Yeah. But yeah, I loved being with them, and they loved it because on the first day of school, if I wore like my nerdy cardigan and like my Vans with some jeans, they'd be like they wouldn't know that I wasn't one of them, especially because, I carry a backpack and, I look like a child. They thought I was one of them. And then I'd be like, hi, I'm your librarian. And they'd be like, wait, what? You're not 13? I'm like, no, I'm 30. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes.
I think being able to relate to those kids and letting them know, like, yeah, I'm an adult. And yeah, I'm in a position of not so much power, but I'm in a position of authority, and I've been a teacher and I've got this experience, but I'm a human, and when we fangirl about books the way we do with them, and you make that connection, especially that you get those kids to come back, like, you are such an amazing influence and just person to them, that they're getting to see that librarians are humans and that adults, yeah, we're adults and we have to pay bills and we have to work and all the crappy part of being an adult, but we're still people. And that's what I think is so important about what you do. So thank you.
Thank you. And to all of y'all, I know y'all do the same thing every day. And, like I said earlier, being a place that every child knows that they'll feel welcome and respected when it might be the only place on campus that's true, it's important, and I take it seriously. So
Yeah. So we've talked about what you love. What is a challenge you faced, and how did you overcome it?
So I had, before June, I guess, I was not a branded librarian like you see below. I had a couple of different, I was using my library for a Instagram account. And a lot of things happened in June. In June, the Black Lives Matter movement really took off, as well as being Pride Month. And so I was posting a lot of support for both of those causes, which I personally believe are human rights issues and not political issues. However, I live in a very conservative town, and so I had to kind of make the decision of what I wanted to do. I did not feel like I could stop speaking out about things that were important to me and important to the lives of my students that I've had before. So I decided to brand myself so that it was easier to find me, easier to connect with my PLN, but also so that I could be vocal about the things that I feel important and that I feel are important and need to be talked about and being part of the conversation. And so I separated myself from my school. I do have a school Instagram as well. And on there, I just do book talks and I share things that are happening in our library. But on my Next Gen Librarian Instagram account, I am pretty vocal when it comes to things that some might consider, controversial. And so for me, I'm always going to be on the side of my students and protecting them and making them feel safe. And if that means that you think I'm this or that or whatever you want to call, me, I personally don't think it's a political thing. I personally feel like it's this for the safety of my students. And I've had several students come out to me. I've had several students talk to me about their gender identities, and a lot of them have questions about Black Lives Matter movement and what they can do. And so if even one of those things had happened, it would be worth me being vocal and sharing that information out with people. So I'm going to call that a win. But
It is a win.
I feel like it can be
love that. You've done such an excellent job of branding yourself, Amanda. You've done an excellent job. And I love that, you're always coming from the right place. You're doing it for the right reasons. And that's such a fantastic part of you.
Thank you.
How did you come up with the Next Gen Librarian?
It's rough out here, y'all. I'm late to the branding game, okay? And some of us just fell into these amazing names that described them. And so I was really struggling. I tried all different kinds. I really wanted to be the unicorn librarian because that's what I was on TikTok when I first got on. If you don't know, I work in a district where our mascot is the unicorn. And so I've been the unicorn my whole life. And so I really wanted that. Well, on Instagram, there already is a librarian called the Unicorn Librarian. And so I'm not about to step on anybody's toes or, anything like that. So I reached out to a coworker and very good friend of mine, and I was like, you got to help me, because I'm usually good at coming up with things like this, but I just could not. And so my friend was like, well, you do a lot, and a lot of what you do is about what I feel, what she feels librarians are going to be in the future, and what we strive to be, and on our good days what we really aspire to be. And so she's like, you should be the Next Gen Librarian. And I was like, okay. And so I was feeling it, and it wasn't taken, so that was a win.
It's a good one, and it's totally true. You are what we want, what we are and what we want librarians to continue to be. We're not that old lady with the bun and the glasses and the
Right.
We do love to read. And I wish there were days when I could be like, let me have a quiet day. But,
yeah, my library's not quiet unless we're testing like today. But, yeah.
But yeah. And I mean, I think that's a perfect description of who you are and who we want librarians to continue to be. And while we go off of that, you and Allie are our Texas Association of School Librarian Media Virtual Presence winners, my dears, both of y'all. So both of y'all, this question's for both of you. What is the MVP award? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot I have also on this one.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. 2018, that was me. Whatever. Anyway, so tell us, what does it mean to be the MVP? And why is it important to have not just a brand, but to put yourself out there as a librarian?
Allie, you're taking it, girl. You are the winner.
Yes,
this is you.
Yeah,
Girl.
Okay, well, I'll explain what it is. It's the Media Virtual Presence Award, the MVP award. And it's exactly what Amanda has done with the Next Gen Librarian. She has branded herself. She has put herself out there in promoting her library, in bringing joy to her students, in bringing advocacy to other librarians. She has promoted the role of the librarian, the profession. She has shed light on all the wonderful things that we do for human rights, like LGBTQ, like the Black Lives Matter movement. She's doing a diversity audit and things like that. And she has talked about it. We've had conversations about it, like at Cheeselac, in that webinar that we did, Amanda, a little bit a while ago. And she puts that information out there, however she can, through Twitter, through Instagram, through Facebook, through her TikToks. And she basically does what she can to bring light, to bring positive energy, to bring just visibility to the role of the librarians, and that we're not going anywhere. And Amanda's just done such a fantastic job of doing that. And I think she's just completely deserving of this award.
Well, oh my gosh, no. I'm going to co-host next time, and I'm going to say all of that about Allie because, y'all, like I said, I'm late to the branding game. I feel like I'm late to the library PLN in the way that, Allie and Stephanie and Karina have just built with RGV, like the most amazing group of these of librarians that are just if you don't know what PLN is, Professional Learning Network, and they really do the same things. It's about sharing, not with our libraries, not just in our district, not just in our region, not just in our state, in our country and beyond, because we can all learn from each other. Well, I mean, I'm inspired every single day I get on social media. It is a privilege to be a part of a group like this, of these amazing librarians that are coming up with just the best, ideas, constantly, and then they share them out. There's so many people that I have met in my career that don't use social media, and if there's one thing I can tell them is I know for y'all, people say bad things about social media, and we're always preaching the dangers of it, to kids and beware, and it's not going anywhere. One, two, our kids are on it, right? And that was a huge part of me with the TikTok thing, is that if they're on that and they're scrolling and they're seeing stuff, I want to be a part of that conversation. I want my library to be inserted into that so that they see what I'm doing and they can connect with me better in person. And I feel like the same thing goes for librarians across the world. And I feel like all of my ideas I got from librarians. Everything I do is because of the people that I've connected with through social media. So I'm a fan, and I'll continue to say it over and over.
I mean, I'm a fan of both of y'all.
Absolutely.
So
I think that,
I'm just saying.
And Stephanie, you've done so much. I think my
you're good.
Internet's going in and out. But Stephanie, you've done such an amazing job of promoting yourself in the past years. And I've just kind of taken your lead. You've done such a great job. You were so deserving in 2018 of the MVP award. You kind of like led the way. You know, you're what do they call it? A trailblazer.
Oh, stop. You know, I felt like when I won it, it had been a really tough first 2 years as a librarian. Y'all, if you don't know what high school librarians do, especially in schools that have AP and IB programs, like those high school librarians are freaking knowledgeable. They are amazing wealths of knowledge. And those first 2 years for me as a librarian were rough. Like my first library, I tell people all the time, and I hope she watches this someday. I was working for Satan. She was an awful administrator. Like straight up told me, "You're a great librarian. I don't like you as a person." And my second year as a librarian, I just was in a really tough school that I didn't know enough to be there. And getting that award and putting myself out there so much, like building this community that we've been talking about, was such a huge support, because I was to the point where I was ready to go back to the classroom. You know, I love teaching, and I've always been that teacher where it's not like a fallback plan. I love teaching. And that's what I love about being a librarian, is still getting to teach. And that, you know, having that support was what kept me going when I didn't know if I could keep being a librarian. And I'm so glad I did, because being a middle school librarian was great. And yeah, I really hope I get back in one.
You will. You will. That's where you belong.
I love it. It's the best. But
yeah,
thank you. Yeah, it was rough, but I feel like winning that award really changed the game for me, even when, you know, some people didn't think I was so deserving. But, you know, it's what Amanda said. Social media is not going anywhere, and we need to be there where the kids are, because why not? Oh, that is my mother calling me. I'm sorry.
It's on the show.
It's like I tell people about being on YouTube. When, you know, our kids are going to be there anyway, right? Our kids are going to watch YouTube. You may as well put yourself somewhere where they're going to be watching and where they're going to be paying attention, because otherwise it's just what Amanda said. How else are you going to get yourself to be a part of that conversation? So, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. We are almost wrapping up. So I have one more question for you, Amanda. And it's, where do you get all of your badass shirts?
Oh, I can answer that one. That one's easy. So I love Instagram for a lot of reasons, but I have a friend on there, and she's an enabler. Like, we enable each other. And so Emily Aspires, she, when she sees that there's like a bookish or an educator, she'll send it to me, and she'll be like, "Which one are we getting?" And I'm like, y'all, like, I can't be spending that kind of money. I already have an addiction to books. Okay. But there's like eSnatch Teacher, Miss Fairchild Creates, Inkwell Designs. I try to tag them all when I wear one, just so that they can get the hype and stuff like that. But I mean, read more diverse books. I mean, come on. Like, I gotta have this stuff. Like, they just keep coming up with the cutest ideas. And I bought one today, don't judge, that said, "Don't talk to me when I'm reading." And so if you see me wearing that, yeah, so I don't know. I love seeing them all like on Instagram, and then I get shirt happy. And my mom makes like shirts, like she can do that. She has a silhouette machine. So I'm always like, "I found this idea, but I'm broke. Can you make it?" And so she will. Yeah, so
that's awesome. It's not a want, it's a need, Amanda. It's a need. It's an investment.
Write-offs. Because wearing them for work. It's a write-off.
Yes.
You do. You do what you have to do. Yes.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, it is almost our time. So, Amanda, tell our viewers where they can find you.
So I am now branded. So I am at the Next Gen Librarian, like everywhere. And I have a blog on thenextgenlibrarian.com if you want to learn more about my diversity audit and other things that I will be doing in the future. Find me there.
Yay! And I just dropped the link in our comments to our sticker giveaway. It is bit.ly/techitover giveaway. If you would like to fill out that Google form and get yourself some Tech It Over swag. I almost said swag. I don't know what I was thinking. But we'll send you sticker. We've got some
fun.
keychains. We've got some cool stuff for you. Girl, that's one thing. It's been a rough day. Whatever. Anyway.
They're the cutest stickers. They're
Yes.
adorable. I
I
love
have them everywhere. Yes.
Yes. They're
Oh.
super cute. So please join the giveaway. And I see that we have Deborah on. Hey, girl. And Melissa. That's so awesome.
Thank y'all for coming. I so appreciate y'all's support. Other librarians you should follow that are amazing. And
yes,
all the things.
I follow both of them. A wealth of information.
All right, ladies. Well, this has been an amazing privilege for me to have you both on the show tonight. Do you have any last-minute words for our viewers and listeners on the podcast?
Yes. Please tune in next time to the Quinceañera episode where Allie, God, every time, Allie, the librarian, will be a guest instead of a co-host.
Yeah, it's our Quinceañera episode. We're going to wear dresses.
I have a crown ready. We'll be dancing cumbia.
We'll have some
Well, I
margaritas.
don't know, but it should be fun.
It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, it has been an amazing show. And I'm really sad that Garina's not here to do our sign-off, and I got to do it alone. But if you guys know it, feel free to join. So stay positive, and y'all know?
I don't know. I forgot.
Oh, that's all good. All right. Stay positive and test negative. Bye.
Oh, yes, I love it.